Hello and warm welcome to Power News, your window to the power sector. I'm Juhi Rajput. Let's begin with the top stories. Groundwater depleting due to free electricity, says Jairam Ramesh. Bihar government likely to privatize power sector. Stake transfers in oil fields to NRIs to come under Foreign Exchange Management Act. MERC rejects JSW Energy's plea to revise power tariff. Appellate Tribunal for Electricity directs OERCs to determine cost-based tariff. Jammu and Kashmir to solicit prelim bids for 400 megawatt Karthai hydroelectric power project. Government moots duty on equipment imports. Show us the coal, bank tells power companies. NNTPC trading arm begins supply of solar-generated power. Well, those were the top stories of the week. Let's move to our next segment, Quick Updates, to know the latest development in the power sector. A shortage of natural gas in India has reduced efficiency at existing power plant using the fuel and put in jeopardy investment of at least rupees 35,000 crore in new projects. Plant load factor, a key measure of efficiency at electricity generating units of gas-fired projects, declined to 57.93% in September as compared with 67.16% in April. The supply of natural gas in the country, including imported fuel, stands at 160 million standard cubic meter per day against demand of 220 million standard cubic meter. The Cabinet has decided NTPC for maintaining the fragile eco-geological balance in its discontinued project site of Loharinag Pal in Uttarakhand. The Loharinag Pala hydro project with a capacity of 600 megawatt has been located on river Bhagirathi and is the first project downstream from the origin of the Ganges at Gangotri. The project was stopped by National Ganga River Basin Authority in November 2010. The decision was taken as the project falls under eco-sensitive zone, which calls necessary protection measures in terms of ecology. Purchasing power exchanges and power trading companies is gaining a larger share in the power transaction in the country. The share of such open market transaction went up from 7.5% in 2008-9 to 12% of the total generation volumes in the first 6 months of the current fiscal year, from 4.1 billion units to 8.5 billion units in September 2011. Ahead of the dawn of competitive bidding, the government plans to allocate a fifth of the country's coal reserve to Coal India. Beyond the existing allocations, 146 coal blocks with reserves over 60 billion tons is the existing allocation proposed to be handed to the PSU, which will help it retain its #1 position in India's coal mining industry. Several coal blocks have been identified for allocation to other entities too, once auction process begins next year. In the upcoming competitive bidding regime, miners and users will place bids to get blocks. And now the news of the week. The government's auditor has come down hard on irregularities in the government's policy on so-called ultra mega power project. The report of the Controller and Auditor General of India is with the Power Ministry for its comment and could cause further embarrassment for the government. The ultra mega power projects were showcasing the project of the government that were meant to generate 4,000 megawatt each and help to bridge the country's yawning power deficit. Here is a report by our correspondent.
CAG, besides retiring its objection to the government decision to allow Reliance Power to divert surplus coal, has objected to the government's decision to allow bidders to develop more than one ultra mega power project, permit Tata Power and Reliance Power to acquire more land than was required, and effect changes in the bid norm after the project has been awarded. The government's decision were taken by an empowered group of ministers headed by Power Minister Sushil Kumar Shinde. In its report, the auditor criticized the government for setting a ceiling of 3 ultra mega power projects for a bidder and said that this is not the proper parameter for access capacity of the developer to execute the project on time. Reliance Power has been the most successful company in terms of contract to develop ultra mega power projects. CAG further said that a review of the projects awarded to Reliance Power showed delay. The auditor pointed out that in the case of Sasan, the commissioning date of first unit has been extended by 14 months from the revised deadline of December 2011, and that in the case of Tilaiya, Reliance Power has not achieved financial closure even 2 years after the transfer of the SPV, resulting in the possibility that the first unit will not be commissioned by May 2015 as scheduled. CAG said that a proper bid criteria was not laid down to access the capabilities of the developer to execute the project in time. Objecting to decision to amend the commercial terms after the award of UMPP to allow diversion of surplus coal, the auditor maintained that this had resulted in losses of the exchequer. It pegged the losses on this account of diversion of coal for Reliance Power Project at Sasan and Tilaiya at Rs 1.2 trillion. CAG said that the permission to use excess coal subsequent to execution of the contract agreement violated the sanctity of the bidding process.
After deciding to allow the use of surplus coal meant for the Sasan project for another project of the developer, the ministerial group sought to make this norm applicable to all ultra-mega power projects. It has asked the Coal Ministry to issue necessary instruction to this effect, but this is yet to happen. It's time for a quick break, but there's a lot more on the other side. Stay tuned.